In other news tonight, St. Tammany Sheriff Randy Smith arrested a federal agent on a criminal defamation charge today, alleging the agent leaked details about the high-profile murder investigation involving a Covington fire chief's wife, defaming the lead detective and the sheriff's office in the process. It's the latest twist in the controversial investigation, just days after Smith fired one of his main detectives in the Nannette Krenzel case. Krenzel, I should say. It's a story I've been digging into with our partners at the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate.
The charred remains of Nannette Krenzel were found surrounded by the ash and rubble of her Lacombe home in 2017. 3 separate autopsies determined she was shot in the head before her body burned. But what happened to Krenzel remains a mystery. The case posed such a problem for the St. Tammany sheriff, he brought in a new team of investigators late last year to put fresh eyes on it, including financial crimes detective Sergeant Stephen Montgomery. But last week, Montgomery was abruptly fired. His termination papers say investigators with the sheriff's office found Montgomery, quote, was sharing privileged information with someone outside of the STPSO and not affiliated with the investigation. And the person who received the investigative details used them to defame the investigation, STPSO personnel, and the agency. After arresting federal agent Jerry Rogers, booking him on a misdemeanor criminal defamation charge, Sheriff Smith said Rogers had created a fake email account. And sources close to the matter say the leak investigators believe Rogers leaked information he received from Montgomery to Smith's opponents in the upcoming race for St. Tammany Sheriff and to family members of Krenzel. Rogers is an investigator with the Inspector General for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and until 2009, he worked for the STPSO. During the investigation, Rogers' attorney sent this letter to the sheriff's office saying none of the information sent in the emails came from an active member of law enforcement. In a statement, Montgomery admits he conferred with Rogers, but says he didn't know Rogers was sending the emails and he still hasn't seen them. Montgomery said in part, quote, I have never compromised my integrity and did not do so in this case. It's very upsetting that months of my work will fall by the side and this family will be left with more questions than answers.
Now, in a news release today about the Rogers arrests, Sheriff Smith said, quote, our investigators were able to uncover the malicious, surreptitious, and criminal actions of an individual whose intent was motivated by his efforts to defame, create distrust, and otherwise prey on the emotions of a victim's family. We should note, several courts, including the U.S. Supreme Court, have found Louisiana's criminal defamation law, the basis of the charge against Rogers, unconstitutional.